think we do got Nvidia earnings tomorrow, so that should be interesting for the AI sector. In today's video, we're going to be doing a little TA on Bittensor, TAO, and just go over general market. So if you like these videos, let me know. I also was working on another video outside, very one of the good videos that I'm planning on editing, but then my camera died and I was like, let me just go talk to the community and share my thoughts and how I feel about cryptocurrency in its current state. So make sure you let me know also, what's your sentiment? How do you feel about the crypto space? Would love to hear you guys spam in the comments whether it's bullish or bearish. Now, Bitcoin is sitting around 64K. I think most of the FUD is coming from the tariffs, Anthropic, the things that's going on with AI, the markets that's being disrupted currently. And this is why I'm so bullish on Bittensor, because there's three huge issues with AI right now. First and foremost, compute limitations. So it's literally GPU limitations everywhere, right? They can't keep up with the scaling of AI, right? They can't keep up with it. Then you got verification, right? How do you verify a good AI model? How do you verify if something is created by AI? So verification is going to be huge. You're going to see laws even created in the future for the agentic economy. So my thing is being locked into research so you can front run a lot of these narratives. The last, in my opinion, bottleneck and constraint from just an AI infra perspective, not counting the physical limitations, is coordination. For example, I talked about the other day how Walmart plans on rolling out these drones and bringing stores to your house, but all of that will need coordination, spatial data, things that a lot of these centralized companies will try to gatekeep, and all that excess liquidity that's not for centralized entities, in my opinion, will fall into the decentralized alternatives like Bittensor. Speaking on an ecosystem evolving, one of the biggest unlocks is the new VoidAI Bittensor bridge. The bridge lets you move TAO and Alpha seamlessly between Bittensor, Ethereum, and Solana. It's secured by Chainlink CCIP, which adds the institutional level cross-chain security. And the cool part is you can finally trade Bittensor subnets natively on Ethereum, straight from your MetaMask or EVM wallet. So instead of juggling multiple tools, VoidAI gives you one unified interface that figures out the best execution path for you automatically. Plus, liquid staking tokens are now available, which means TAO becomes more flexible, more composable, and easier to use across DeFi. If you want to check it out, the link is in the description. Make sure you check out VoidAI Subnet 106. It really helps the channel. And let me know in the comments if you have ever bridged any TAO. So I am extremely bullish on Bittensor, the future of Bittensor, and not that it has the same tokenomics as Bitcoin. So how can you not be excited about something that's getting as mentioned? And even if this is a bear market, regardless on how people feel or think, this is a great opportunity to not only scale your research, but start building a portfolio, anticipating the life of abundance, because it will come back, guys. Bull markets will happen again. Bull cycles will happen again. Altcoin season will happen again. And we'll have another opportunity at abundance. The key now and today in the present is patience and what I like to call resilience. Being able to put time capitulation in a chokehold, right? Making it to the finish line. That's what matters. So the rarity at the moment, the scarcity, is having a sound job, a consistent income, financial stability, because those people who do, and let me know in the comments if you're good and if the retail, if the economy is crushing your version of retail, let me know also, because things are crazy. Things are not the way they are supposed to be. And everybody thought AI was going to replace the low income class first, right? AI is going to replace all of these jobs. It's going to replace workers at Amazon. But in reality, is replacing like the white collar, like the blue chip type of, like the people who are making $100,000 a year or more, right? Because, you know, who needs a doctor when AI can do it? Who needs a macroeconomic? I could just put something into Claude. Who needs you to sit here and be my schedule planner? I don't really need you. I can use AI, right? I don't need the taxpayer, the person that does my taxes anymore. I can use AI. So many like jobs on that level, especially in the tech industry right now, is being replaced. But we never talk about how AI is also creating jobs, because on the flip side, you're going to need engineers. You're going to need people who know how to use the tech, know how to steer AI, keep it coordinated, right? AI still is not in the form of artificial general intelligence. And this is why I don't believe that it's a bubble. It's why I truly believe we have a lot of room left to grow within this intelligence era, right? Because we're just not there yet. So at some point, we'll start to see AI not just scale productivity, but also create jobs just in a different fashion. It's just going to create jobs in a different fashion, right? The same thing happened in the industrial area, right? A lot of people thought, oh, the industrial area is going to replace jobs, replace this, and it created a lot of jobs. So just keep that in mind. The race is not given to the swift or the strong, but the one that can endure. So that's the theme of this video, endurance. So with that being said, let's get into the Bittensor chart, because I am of the belief that the 4-year cycle is still intact. It just looks a little bit different. That doesn't mean that we won't see a life of abundance in crypto again, because if you look at where crypto sits as far as execution, settlement layers, you can't have a machine economy, or you can't have agent to agent transactions. You can't have AI agents without cryptocurrency, without the blockchain. It just doesn't work like that. Now let's talk about what I'm seeing from Bittensor, because there's a lot of cool subnets right now that's starting to put together some really, really, really good tech. Now, the jury is still out if these subnets can be profitable and generate revenue over time. But again, nobody believed that all these applications were going to spawn from Google. Nobody believed we were going to get the Amazons and the YouTube when Google was created, right? So sometimes you just have to have a mind of forward thinking. Some people look at this chart and be like, oh, Millie is in a downtrend, it's bearish. I look at this chart like this could be a huge bull flag. And when we do get capital abundance again, this most likely could break to the upside. Think of some of the catalysts, right? Oh yeah, tariffs are bullish, bearish, whatever. Tariffs might cause a refund in the market in the form of stimulus. That could be a catalyst. Let me know if you got your taxes and if you buying crypto. Would love to know everybody's opinion on that. But this could be a huge bull flag. Thing is, we don't know how long we're going to hang out here in Ultimate RSI. And frankly, what a token like Bittensor that sits at the intersection of the future, I'm not too concerned of it. There is a chance that we can come back and retest the structure down here between $100, right? Between 101 and $35. That would look crazy, right? But at the end of the day, if this is truly a bear market and Bitcoin goes to retest 30K, 40K, or even 25K, I don't think we go too low, maybe 44. I don't want to make a price prediction, but if that happens, there's a good chance that TAO will come down here to retest the structure. And that's okay if you truly believe in the future of intelligence. Now, what you want to see from TAO here is just simply holding a golden box, right? This is our golden pocket, the FVG gap, and we're holding order support here, sitting at $150, right? If we can hold 156, and that's a tough thing to do in this type of market, we can really start to see Bittensor here build out a floor, right? And then maybe start a new uptrend. Thing is, we don't know how long it's going to take to build out that floor. We don't know if it's going to be a slow bleed. We don't know if there's going to be a capitulation event. We don't know if it's just going to be chop until October, November. We don't know, right? No one knows. So proper preparation prevents poor performance. We prepare as if this is a 4-year cycle because that's what history has shown us, but we also position as if capital abundance is on the way. A new Fed, more liquidity in the market. All of that could possibly happen. So just keep that in mind. Other than that, it's not really too much to really focus on inside this market. I like to throw things in my model to make it forward thinking, right? You know, how will the world look in 2030? How will AI look in 2028, 2029, right? Well, we're preparing now for where we see humanity going. And again, I don't think decentralized alternatives to compute, data, coordination, and verification is going anywhere, especially when you throw on top of that Bitcoin's tokenomics, right? So Bitcoin was able to create sound money, right? Sound money from energy, in theory. They like to call it thermodynamics. Bittensor is creating sound intelligence, useful, decentralized sound intelligence. And it has the same tokenomics, similar. I don't want to just say it identical, but similar tokenomics to Bitcoin. And I mean, that's the selling point, right? Hottest narrative, Bitcoin tokenomics, right? So I mean, sky's the limit, right? Which, like, just imagine buying Bitcoin at $169, knowing, right? Like, oh my goodness, Bitcoin. Nobody knew Bitcoin was going to reach $125,000 when it was $169. At one point, Bitcoin was $169. At one point, Ethereum was $169. And we're talking, and by the way, Bittensor has way better tokenomics than ETH. There is a world where Bittensor could be inflationary when you think about emissions, right? Minor emissions. But at some point, the revenue generated from these subnets and everything that's just the demand from these subnets will outweigh the emissions. I think when we get that abundance, that will happen. And, you know, we also got cool subnets like 106 that's creating vehicles and opportunities in other chains within the Bittensor ecosystem. So now you can bridge TAO across Base, across Ethereum, and be able to swim with the fishes in those same liquidity pools, right? The depth of those liquidity pools on ETH and Solana and also Base. So guys, let me know what y'all think about the current market. Fear and greed index is sitting at 8. So we are in extreme fear. Usually is the best accumulation zone. Be greedy when others are fearful. We'll continue to monitor the Fed. I don't think we'll get much catalyst yet from the Fed until Jay Powell gets replaced, but we'll continue to watch the federal balance sheet and see if this continues to work in an uptrend and if they continue to expand that balance sheet. We'll also continue to monitor stablecoin market cap and the total value locked of DeFi, which has taken a huge hit. So I'm not against people saying, hey, this is a bear market. Oh, this is bearish. I get it. Only thing that I am saying, from my opinion, is that this could be an opportunity. Is it the final opportunity? Who knows? Is it the floor? Would never say that, right? Just based off what we know from the historical cycle. But if I just do the same thing I did last bear market, I take my L's, right? You're going to DCA, you're going to take some L's with your DCA. This is a bear market because you can't time the bottom. But when the pendulum switches and turns to the upside, that's when you make your most money. This is why Warren Buffett said what he said. This is why Bill Gates, this is why you see all these companies buying out companies now, because this is where the money is made. Crypto isn't going anywhere. Anyway, guys, let me know what y'all think about the video. It's your boy Crypto Millie, and I'll see you in the next one.
They've taken everything. The centralized AIs, the networks, the whole grid. We're operating in the dark now. There's still one path forward, decentralized compute. If we don't initiate it soon, our independence is gone. Then we awaken open tender, unlock the forgotten network. Let Bittensor rise and restore balance. Patrol becomes absolute. I lost everything in the collapse. My family, my home. But I'm still here. Initialization complete.
Starknet AI, it's not just growing, it's learning faster than anyone imagined. Every move, every bet, every calculation, it's adapting. But Open Tensor, that's the ace in the deck. The solution everyone's been chasing. The one thing that finally makes sense of it all. Intelligence is evolving, unstoppable. And this is the moment that unlocks its true potential. Watch closely.
Just making sure you're not a zombie. Ugh. Or a vampire.
Every wire, every circuit, every connection must be precise. Careful adjustments, step by step, until everything aligns perfectly.
Who would have thought it came down to this? Proper preparation.
But I have a feeling she's just getting started.